summer of 1996. A 31-year-old man named Blair Adams was found dead at a vacant construction lot in Knoxville, Tennessee. His clothes were turned inside out. His forehead was cracked open. His stomach was ruptured. But what stunned the police wasn't how he died. It was what was scattered around his body. Nearly $4,000 in cash, gold bars, platinum coins, jewelry, all untouched. Nobody took a single cent. To understand why an ordinary construction foreman from Canada ended up dead in a vacant lot over 4,000 kilometers from home, we have to rewind a few weeks. Blair Adams lived in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. He worked as a construction foreman and had a stable life. But in mid-June 1996, everything started to change. Those closest to him noticed Blair becoming extremely anxious. He couldn't sleep for days on end. His mood swung wildly. He stopped attending his Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. At work, he kept leaving the site gates unlocked. Then one day, he abruptly quit his job and never came back to collect his final paycheck. Blair told his mother, Sandra Edwards, that someone was trying to kill him. But when she asked who, he refused to answer. He said if he told her, she would be in danger too. On July 5th, Blair went to his bank, withdrew all his savings, and emptied his safety deposit box. He gathered roughly $6,000 in cash, gold bars, platinum coins, and jewelry, stuffing everything into a black fanny pack. This was not the behavior of a man planning to come back. On July 7th, Blair tried to cross into the United States by ferry from Victoria to Seattle, but customs stopped him. A young man traveling alone, no luggage, even carrying a massive amount of cash. He perfectly matched the profile of a drug courier. Combined with prior offenses on his record, Blair was denied entry on the spot. But he didn't give up. In the early hours of July 9th, Border Patrol caught Blair trying to cross on foot through dense forest at the Pacific Highway border crossing. His hands and legs were covered in bloody scratches from crashing through thorn bushes in the dark. Police detained him briefly, but released him. Not enough evidence to hold him. Shortly after, Blair found another way. He went to Vancouver Airport, rented a Nissan Altima, and drove across the border into the U.S. This time, he made it through. In Seattle, Blair bought a round-trip ticket to Frankfurt, Germany for $1,600. But just hours later, he panicked and canceled. Instead, he bought a one-way ticket to Washington, D.C., a city where he knew absolutely no one. After landing, he rented a white 1996 Toyota Camry. Among his belongings, police later found a car rental receipt signed by another Canadian, not Blair. Who was this person? No one knows. Police never found them. Blair drove nonstop along Interstate 40, heading south. Bloodshot eyes from sleep deprivation, drenched in sweat, constantly checking his rearview mirror. Late afternoon on July 10th, he pulled over in Knoxville, Tennessee. He would never leave this city. 5:30 in the afternoon. Blair pulled into a gas station on Strawberry Plains Pike. He told the attendant his car was locked and wouldn't start. A tow truck driver named Gerald Sapp arrived to help. Sapp quickly realized the problem. Blair was using the wrong key. He was trying to open the Toyota with the key from the Nissan he'd rented earlier. When Sapp told him to check his pockets for the right key, Blair stubbornly refused. Sapp later said Blair wasn't drunk, wasn't on drugs, but his mind clearly wasn't working right. The car was towed to a repair shop. Sapp dropped Blair off at the Fairfield Inn. Security cameras recorded Blair at 7:37 p.m. White t-shirt, jeans, backwards baseball cap. Over the next 40 minutes, he walked in and out of the lobby 5 times, constantly peering through the windows as if watching for someone or being watched. Finally, he placed a $100 bill on the front desk to pay for a room. But as the clerk bent down to get change, Blair suddenly turned around and walked straight out the door. Not a word. Left the money. Left the room. Vanished into the darkness. He never set foot in that room. From the moment Blair left the hotel to when his body was found, a complete void. But there were witnesses. Night shift workers at a nearby truck stop confirmed seeing Blair with an unknown man between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m. Two women also saw Blair talking to a man at the Cracker Barrel restaurant. Police created a composite sketch of the suspect. White male, short hair, rugged face. This man was never found. Around 3:30 in the morning, a security guard near the scene heard a piercing scream tear through the night. He said it sounded like a woman's voice. 7:13 a.m. July 11th. Construction workers arrived at a hotel project site on Crosswood Boulevard, half a mile from the Fairfield Inn. They found Blair Adams' body. He lay curled up in a pool of blood on the dirt. His t-shirt was torn open. His jeans, shoes, and socks had been removed and tossed nearby, all turned inside out. His forehead had a deep gash, determined to be from a heavy metal object, likely a crowbar. His entire body was covered in scraping injuries, as if he'd been dragged across the ground. His hands and forearms bore defensive wounds. He had fought back. Cause of death: abdominal perforation leading to sepsis. His stomach had been stomped or crushed with extreme force, causing it to rupture. But what left everyone speechless was what lay around the body. Nearly $4,000 in cash, U.S. dollars, Canadian dollars, German marks, scattered everywhere, mixed with dirt and blood. Gold coins, gold bars, jewelry. The fanny pack was ripped open, but still contained 5 ounces of gold bars and platinum coins inside. The assets were spread across a radius of nearly 100 meters. Nobody took a single cent. This was not a robbery gone wrong. So what was it? Theory 1. Blair suffered a psychotic breakdown. No one was actually hunting him. All the fear was in his head. Stranded in Knoxville, he wandered into an area known for roadside prostitution. He approached the wrong person, a pimp intervened, and things spiraled out of control. The killer panicked and fled without grabbing the valuables. Theory 2. Blair was actually being hunted. He refused to name his enemy to protect his mother. Killing without taking the money was a message. We killed him because he betrayed us, not for his money. But if this was a professional hit, why trail someone thousands of miles just to beat them to death with a crowbar in a dirt lot? Theory 3. Blair had arranged to meet someone. The rental receipt signed by an unknown Canadian. The canceled flight to Germany. It all points to an escape plan that fell apart. The late-night meal with the mystery man at Cracker Barrel may have been the final negotiation, and it ended in blood. Nearly 30 years have passed. The only evidence left is a single long hair found on Blair's body, not his own. Strangely, the composite sketch described a short-haired man. So who did that hair belong to? A woman. A third person never mentioned. Police successfully extracted a DNA profile from that hair. Using modern genetic genealogy technology, they're trying to match it against databases. But as of today, there is still no match. Blair Adams emptied his accounts, grabbed his gold, crossed the border, flew across the continent, drove thousands of miles, all because he believed someone wanted him dead. And in the end, he really was killed. The question is, was his fear real all along, or did his paranoia lead him straight to the place where death was already waiting?